Hey guys, Robert Maxwell with the Man Factory, and in this video I want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of grip strength. Now, even if you're not into barbell training or any sort of strength and fitness, grip strength is important because chances are at some point in your life you're going to have to pick up something heavy and maybe walk with it for a distance, whether it's a TV or a box, whatever. And a strong grip and a good ability to exert lots of force with your hand and closing your fingers is your first line of defense against not dropping that heavy object, whatever it may be. And that's one reason why, even for regular people, non-training people, a strong grip is important. Now, if you do lift, then having a strong grip is even more important because so many of the main barbell exercises depend a lot on your ability to be strong in your hands. The deadlift is the most obvious example. Unless you use straps for every set and every rep, which is definitely not recommended for overall strength, then you're going to need strong hands if you're going to pick up a heavy barbell from the ground and drag it up your body to waist height, which is what the deadlift is. Now, there are some tricks you can use to make that a little bit easier, like alternating your grip, an overhand and an underhand grip, but still, it all comes down to your ability to close your hands strongly, whether or not you get up to a heavy enough weight in your training with the deadlift, say, where you need to use those sorts of tricks. If you use double overhand grip on the deadlift, even more to the point, you're going to need a really strong grip to continue doing that as you get stronger in other parts of your body and as the poundage you're able to use on that barbell during the deadlift increases. So, it doesn't have to be complicated to strengthen your grip. There are just a few simple things I like to use for my own grip training, and just continuing to deadlift without straps is the first one. If you're a follower of my website, then you already probably know how much of an advocate of the deadlift and other main barbell movements I am. So deadlifting should definitely be a part of your training if you're serious about getting strong and fit. And that's where strong hands are kind of an automatic side benefit, as I said, as long as you're not using straps all the time. So start deadlifting, try to increase the weight as much as you can without resorting to straps. If you get up really heavy and you end up doing small volume but really high weights, sets of 5 or sets of 3 even, or even heavy singles, then, in those cases, using straps, particularly towards your final set, is acceptable. But in my opinion, the vast majority of your deadlift training should be done without straps because there's such a great benefit to your grip strength. The other thing I like to do is use one of these. You've probably seen one of these before. It's just a simple gripper clamp. This particular one is the Heavy Grip 200 from Heavy Sports, I believe is the brand that makes these. The brand you use doesn't really matter. These 200 strength level grips are pretty easy, in my case, for me to close, but you can get just about any strength, any resistance level of clamp you need for your particular strength level. And what you want to do is just at least a couple of times a week, get in the habit of using these things in each hand and do so until you get pretty close to failure. Do a few sets. Find a gripper clamp where you can do at least a few reps to start with, and then gradually try to increase the number of reps you're able to do. So in my case, I like to do all that I can do in my right hand with the 200 heavy grips here, and then switch to my left hand. Now, what you're going to notice right off the bat when you start doing this is that your non-dominant hand, in my case it's my left hand, is a fair bit weaker than your dominant hand in grip strength, just because you've been using it over the years for a lot more gripping type movements. Your dominant hand, that is. So what you want to do is, when you reach failure and when you're pretty much done your grip workout for the day, do a few extra reps with your non-dominant hand, even if it really burns in your forearm and you feel really weak and tired, because that's going to help counterbalance that natural weakness that you've developed in your non-dominant hand compared to your dominant hand. So gripper clamps, handy thing, very simple. You can also do other weighted exercises in the gym to strengthen your grip. Rack pulls, which are basically like a partial deadlift where the bar is sitting higher than the floor up on a rack, where you can put on a lot of weight and just hold onto it and strengthen your grip that way. You can use a towel to do pull-ups, which make it harder to pull yourself up because you're putting a lot more strain on your grip and your forearm and your ability to squeeze your fingers tight. You can do weighted carries or farmer's walks, where you walk simply at a normal pace. Could be outside with a couple of heavy weights, one in each hand. So there's another thing you can do. For myself, I like to rotate between all of the above and just see how I'm feeling and do my grip training according to that and kind of swap things up as needed. But the main thing I want you to take away from this video is that you should be doing something for your grip, because, like I said at the beginning, your ability to squeeze your hand together tightly and strongly has a huge carryover to all sorts of tasks you're going to have to do in everyday life. So I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.